Okay, so for this question, we're asked to simplify. So we're going to need to expand our binomial brackets first. So we're going to be using FOIL again. So in this first one, we're doing 4 lots of m times m. So we're going to have 4m squared for our first one. Then for our outer terms, we're going to be doing 4m times 1. So that's going to give me 4m. Sorry, plus 4m. Then we're going to do our inner terms, which is minus 7 times m, so that's negative 7m, and then we're going to multiply our last two outer terms, so that's negative 7 times 1, which is negative 7. Then on top of that, I've got a negative sign here from this one in the question, as you can see I've highlighted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that negative there, and then I'm going to open a bracket and expand this one inside, because that negative is going to affect what the expansion becomes. So I'm now going to expand my binomial brackets on the right here, and I'm going to get m squared. Then I'm going to do my outer terms, which is minus 4m. Then my two inner terms here, which is negative 5m, because remember, I'm just multiplying these. And then negative 5 multiplied by negative 4 is going to become actually positive 20. And all of this is inside a bracket. Okay, my next step will then be to simplify all of that. So in my first expansion that I did, 4m squared, that can't be simplified with anything else on the left at the moment. So I'm just going to rewrite that here. Then I'm going to do 4m take away 7m, okay, which is going to give me negative 3m. And then I've got my minus 7 there. Okay, so that's the first quadratic trinomial simplified. Then I'm going to expand this bracket that I've simplified here, and so I'm going to have negative m squared, but instead of just doing negative multiplied each of these terms, I'm going to simplify negative 4m with negative 5m. That's going to give me negative 9 lots of m, but it's then multiplied by negative 1, so it actually is going to become plus 9m. So just to repeat that, I simplified negative 4m with negative 5m. That gave me negative 9m. Then I'm multiplying that by this negative 1 out here, and two negatives multiplied together give a positive. Then I've got negative 1 times positive 20, which is going to give me negative 20. My next step now that they want me to do is continue to simplify, because there are still like terms in here. So I'm going to do 4m squared, take away 1m squared, which is going to give me 3m squared. Then I'm going to do negative 3m plus 9m, which is going to be positive 6m. Then I'm going to do negative 7 take away 27, which is going to be negative 27. And yay! We're done with that one. That was a bit of a whopper. Going on, this question here says to simplify 21xy over 3xy minus 7 thirds. So the first thing you should recognize here is that you have two separate fractions, which means you can simplify this first one on the left. You've got an xy on the top and an xy on the bottom, and 21 divided by 3 is just 7. So really what I want to do is 7 take away 7 thirds. Okay, because just going through that again, numbers divide by numbers, 21 on 3 is 7. And xy divided by itself is 1. So now I want to do 7 take away 7 thirds. I could either use a calculator. If I was doing it without a calculator, I would need to get a common denominator, which in this case, because 7 is 701, it would be 3. But I'm just going to use my calculator to do this one, because these are year 9 questions. So I'm going to do 7 take away 7 thirds, and that's going to give me 14 thirds. So I'm going to type in my answer to that here. Fantastic. Going on to the next question. This asks me to simplify this algebraic fraction with expressions on the numerator and denominator. So I just realized I typed in a 5x there instead of a 4x. So I'm going to fix that. So 4x plus 15y in our bracket over 7x plus 7y. That's better. Now I'm going to think about nothing, because it's simplified fully. Going on to this question, it says George is playing a game. To win, she must pick a number s such that this value here, or this expression, is an integer. So they want me to simplify this. So first of all, 9 on 18 is half, so I'm going to do that. Now on the top there, I've got an s squared, on the bottom I've got an s. So on the top I've got 1s, and on the bottom I've got 2. Now it says, what type of number should Georgia pick in order to guarantee she'll win a game? Okay, now because it has to be an integer, you have to have something divided by 2 to give a whole number. So would she need a multiple of 3? It's probably not going to give her an integer. An even number, that's highly likely to give her an integer. An odd number, likely not. And a square number, not necessarily, because a square number could be odd. So it's going to be an even number. Continuing on. Now we're getting into some harder type questions with fractions, expressions, and they're going to basically require you to factorize. So in this first question here, I'm going to take out on the top of my fraction, so it's going to be a fraction, so I'm going to just click this button, and I'm going to have a negative I don't need to factorize actually. What I need to do is I need to simplify. So negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So I'm going to have negative x to the power of 10. And then on the denominator of my fraction, I'm going to do 4x to the power of 4 plus 12x to the power of 4, which is 16x to the power of 4. Then what they want me to do is they want me to simplify that further. So I can cancel out 4 of these x's on the bottom, all of those, with 4 on the top, and that will leave me with 6 on the top. Going on, they now want me to simplify this division. So the first thing I want to think about is, what are some common factors that I could take out here? For example, I could take out the number 7. I could take out also x to the power of 2. So I'm going to take out a highest common factor of 7x to the power of 2. Then I'm going to factorize that. So 7 times 8 is 56. And I need x to the power of 4 in that bracket there. I've got a negative. I want 3 lots of 7 to give me 21, and I need 1 lot of x in there. And then I'm going to add to that 7 lots of 5 gives me 35, and I've already got the x squared. So I'm going to do that to factorize to start, and I'm going to divide that whole thing by 7x squared. Okay, so that's kind of my first port of call to get to that point. The next bit now is to look at what I can cancel. Well, I can cancel this 7x here on the bottom with this 7x here on the top. And the reason I can cancel is because whenever you divide anything by itself, you get 1. And hopefully that was a little bit helpful for you. You can see I didn't get 99%. But have a look at those 2 videos, and hopefully you can get some assistance with completing that task, or complete it again if you wish. Thanks everybody. Bye.